So yeah, Orbitalis started at London Dare, and you also released it online, or a beta version online as a flash game. So what's it actually all about?
Well, as you say, it started as a 48 hours game, so I wasn't expecting Orbitalis to be any bigger than the scope of full Dare. It was the most modern entry in Dare, and people really liked it. So I tried to take a step further, because of that, taking all the comments of people, all the feedback, and making something slightly bigger, making something like a proper game, whatever that means. And now actually it's really big, and like initially I had probably 10, 15 levels, and now I'm heading towards 150, and daily challenges, and different goals, and missions, and maps. So it's a lot of content, a lot of variety, a lot of new mechanics, and it's going to be released probably in a couple of weeks.
Okay, so
on Steam, early access, so so I'm quite excited about that.
That's cool. Where did you get the idea for Orbitalis from? Then what were the constraints of the jam that you had to deal with?
Well, I think that usually in jams like London Dare, you have like a main theme, but it's very vague. Like the team for this London Dare was really get one that was the biggest theme ever. So I tried to get inspired by the other theme that were not accepted, and one of these was gravity, and that's where I came to the idea. So basically in this game, you have to launch a probe in space, and you only have one attempt. And I tried to join this concept with the gravity theme, and it turns out to be actually really nice mechanic.
Okay. So yeah, what's up with the controller thing then? Where did you get the idea for making that? And is that sort of a... Well, obviously you don't need it to play the game.
No.
Would you like everyone to have one so they can play the game?
I can tell you that people are really scared sometimes when they see it. They say, "Oh, I don't have one." Don't worry, you don't need one. You can play the game with the mouse and the controller and the keyboard. So that would be hopefully anyone has that. The problem nowadays is that everyone is making an indie game, and there is no thing such an indie bubble. It's exactly the opposite. Everyone is making an indie game. And I think you can see here, from the amount of people that are trying to make one. And it's really hard to get noticed, it's really hard to get attention, because there are simply so many and you can't really compete with them. So I think it would be interested trying to make something slightly more alternative. And if you want to be a hipster, you have to keep pushing on the edge. And I think that this controller, in a way, is really useful for that. Because it's something different, it's something that people can only play here, and it's a little bit like the Oculus Rift. People queue for hours to try it, because it's something they don't have at home, it's something that they either try here or they don't, or they have to wait for months and months and months. So this controller actually got the same feeling. People come in here are curious and want to try, and in a way it attracts people. And I think that there is these components, but there's also the fact that I like experimental gameplay. I think that it's really hard to have a game that is immersive if you have to press keys, because in a way it breaks the connection with the core of the game. And you're in this amazing game, it's a press space to open the door. It doesn't really work for me. So I wanted something that is more natural. For the type of game we are doing, you're mirroring the movement, so I can't think about something that's more natural than this one. So that's for me.
Did you make the controller yourself then from scratch, or do you
Yes.
commission it?
Yes. No. I mean, I think you can see that I made it from scratch. Actually, I was really helped by the people in the London Hackspace. There is this space in London where you can basically use like industrial machinery almost for free. It was a laser counter for hours and hours trying to get it right, and eventually there was something that worked. So.
Is that how many prototypes you've gone through then to make that? Or, many. Okay. So yeah, because a lot of their stuff that was already out online, has community reaction from it being played online helped form what it is today? Or did you just thought, I want this idea, I'm going to run with it in my own way?
The main idea, as the core idea has always remained the same. I didn't have a lot of feedback like go in this direction, go in that direction. The main feedback I got was, oh, I really like this. So I tried to continue on the same theme rather than adapting, because people, the main comment was, I want more levels, I want more mechanics rather than change things, change that. So I think that was the main thing.
Reasonably stoked. So yeah, at the moment it's available now, well, it's going to be available very soon on Steam Early Access.
Yes.
What's the greater pipeline down the line from that then? How much longer until it's fully released, or do you not even know yet yourself?
I have no idea. I would say that when you release such a game that is quite experimental, you release it and usually you have initial people that played it and they're very excited about it. But when you put it on something as big as Steam, you never know the reaction of the people, especially because this game is quite distant from the usual type of game you get on Steam. So I think the early access is not really to add a feature, but to see what people will think about it, and if there is, the need to change the course of the game, because Steam is quite a different environment from Ludum there. So I expect not everyone to get a game. It's very addictive, but it's very addictive to a small subset of people. So I want to get a feeling of how people like it, how people don't like it, and maybe adjust it if there is a need. I can tell you what I'm planning to do is add in an additional lot of levels and probably a level editor, because I think that this is something that will be interesting for people to be able to create new content. And there will be for sure in Steam a daily challenge, so levels that are diverse every day, but every day it will be the same for every player. So they can challenge themselves and on the same day and see if that is cool. I think that will be probably one of the key features.